Well, it's official. Today, Governor Gavin Newsom kicked off his dishonest campaign to try to deceive California voters into ditching the Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission that draws the lines for our election districts and handing all the power back to the politicians so that they can gerrymander for their personal and political benefit. Coming up, we'll tell you all about his scheme, the campaign plan that he unveiled today, what we're doing to fight back, and how you can help. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California and a California state legislator, and we've been following this story for the last 3 weeks since Gavin Newsom first floated the idea that maybe California just possibly could rewrite some language in the state constitution and pass new maps, just like a wave of a wand. Now, when he first floated it, I thought, this guy's just trying to, chum the waters and get some attention on him for his flailing presidential run. But then it became real clear that, no, he was serious. And most people would say, well, wait a minute. Voters overwhelmingly approved taking the power away from politicians back in 2010 because they didn't like gerrymandering. They didn't like politicians going behind closed doors and manipulating maps and trading votes for their own political ambition, and that the voice of the people would be diluted and that we wouldn't have competitive districts. All that stuff happens in the corrupt process of gerrymandering, where politicians choose the voters versus voters choosing the politicians. But remember, we're talking about California politics, where we don't have an honest media, where the Democrats have all this dirty, dark money, unlimited forms of dark money, and they have routinely lied to the voters on the ballot with false and misleading ballot titles. And we're seeing all of that on display, and a bunch of arrogance, and I would even say some stupidity in the mix. So we are on for a November 4th special election. Ballots will arrive in mailboxes October 1st. Today in Los Angeles, Newsom joined other Democrats like Senators Padilla and Shifty Schiff, and foul-mouthed, vulgar Lorena Gonzalez, who dropped the F-bomb 3 times during a live event that was broadcast on the air. A little note for the liberal media: if she's ever on stage, don't give any coverage to your liberal politicians. Punish them for having her on stage. She's just a bully, and she's vulgar. Anyway, they had this rally. I'm not going to bore you with the details of the rally. I'm just going to go through the details of Newsom's very deceptive, dishonest campaign plan, and what we're going to be doing to fight back. Now, the first thing I want to do is give you the call to action. Here's your homework assignment. Ballots are arriving in the mailbox for this corrupt redistricting scheme literally in a matter of 6 weeks, 7 weeks. October 1st, ballots will start to arrive. Everyone will start voting by October 4th. The November 4th election is 30 days, so it'll be over in 4 weeks. We've got to ramp up. We were not expecting to go into battle. We thought we would have until next year before we had to start squaring off in the 2026 midterm election. Nope. And so we start with almost no resources. So we're going to need to raise funds to print the door hangers, the lawn signs, to get the walk lists, to organize the events, to basically create very quickly a grassroots, very grungy but very efficient voter education effort. A movement across the state. And we can do it. We did it with the gas tax repeal on a shoestring budget. We are much better prepared to deal with this dishonest ballot title. And this issue, again, is on our side. So we're going to need your help, and I need you to sign up at the website reformcalifornia.org, reformcalifornia.org. Do 2 things. Number 1, sign up at the bottom of the website. First name, last name, email, phone, and zip code. You will be tethered in to the growing campaign that we're building statewide. And you'll be given all the information about which doors to knock on, what events to go to, how to share information on your social media platforms, you'll be tethered into our campaign to stop Gavin Newsom and the Democrats' corrupt power grab to manipulate these districts. Secondly, please chip in a contribution. Again, we need gas in the tank. We don't just need you to sign up. That's important so you're staying informed and engaged. But please put gas in the gas tank, even $5. That's all it takes to be part of this movement. Okay, so here, let's start out first with the bad news. And the bad news is that the voters agree with us that politicians should not be choosing the voters should be choosing the politicians, that we want to keep an independent, nonpartisan citizens redistricting commission, not let the politicians gerrymander. So Politico did a Citron Center Possibility Lab survey just in the past few days. Quote, by nearly a 2-to-1 margin, voters prefer keeping an independent line drawing panel to determine the state's House seats. Just 36% back returning congressional redistricting authority to state lawmakers. And I looked at the way it was worded. It said, should we retain the current maps drawn by the Citizens Independent Redistricting Commission? Or, given that there's redistricting by other states, gerrymandering, should California respond in kind by gerrymandering their districts as proposed by the state legislature? It's a very fair way to ask the question. So we've got 2/3 saying no, about a 1/3 saying yes. But that's not how it's going to appear on the ballot. We've gotten a glimpse of what the ballot question is going to be, and it comes in the form of a highly misleading ballot title that Gavin Newsom and his Democrat thugs have concocted. Here it is. The ballot title, and this is, again, should be no surprise to many of you who know how corrupt and dishonest Newsom and California politicians are. But they are going to put on the ballot, adopts temporary congressional maps if Texas or other states redistrict mid-decade, declares state policy supporting nonpartisan redistricting commissions nationwide. First bullet, retains California's Citizen Redistricting Commission, declares statewide policy supporting the use of fair, nonpartisan redistricting commissions nationwide. Then, wrapped in that misleading packaging is the turd. Adopts new California congressional districts passed by the legislature for congressional elections through 2030. There it is, the turd, hidden. This is grotesquely misleading. And a lot of people will think, oh, I'm voting for redistricting, right? So yes means no, no means yes. That is the politician scam. That's what Newsom is going for. Just so you know, understand that gerrymandering is corrupt. And if you want evidence of how corrupt Newsom is, just take a look. Dishonest. The ballot title. These people are not for fair elections. They're for thuggery. They're for deception. And it's about time that the liberal media in California do its blanking job, to quote the bully, Lorena Gonzalez, blanking. She said it 3 times at a live press conference today. Vulgar. Lorena Gonzalez is the labor boss for the state of California. It's about time that the liberal media do its damn job and actually criticize Gavin Newsom for his deception, his dishonesty, for stealing votes from the voters by putting a false title on their ballot. That is theft. When you don't give them an honest presentation of what they're voting on, you're thieving. You're stealing. Well, even with that dishonest title, the best the Democrats get is 52% yes, with only 34% definite, 41% no. Now, when the polling starts out that week, when more and more voters wake up and realize that they're being lied to and what's really happening, that 52% can drop very quickly. That is why I am confident that if you join this fight at reformcalifornia.org, sign up at the bottom of the website, chip in a contribution. I'm telling you, this is a fight we can win, but it's going to take each and every one of you to fight. Now, that's the deceptive ballot title. Here's the even more deceptive campaign that Newsom's going to run. Here is the website They're calling their campaign the Election Rigging Response Act. That's what they're saying that they are fighting for, and that they are ensuring fair representation in Congress. This isn't politics as usual. Look at how many times Trump is in there. This is how they're saying they're going to fix all the problems. It levels the playing field. No, it doesn't. It gives politicians the playing field, and the voters are put off to the side. Commits to fair redistricting. Bull. Gives voters the power. My ass. Is fair and proportional. No, it's not. There's nothing fair about this. There's no competitive districts left as a result of this new map. Is temporary. Oh, no. Once the camel's nose is under the tent, this is what politicians have wanted all the time. The whole way through, they've opposed independent citizen redistricting. They like gerrymandering. Newsom opposed it in 2010. All these politicians opposed it, but the voters said, no, we want to draw the lines ourselves, and the politicians need to stay out of the process. We don't want politics or personal gain to drive the process. We want nonpartisan, clear criteria. Communities of interest, geography, Voting Rights Act. All of these things should be fair factors in creating competitive maps. That's what the voters want, 2/3, overwhelmingly. Newsom is a liar. And again, I'm calling on the liberal media, expose him for what he is. Do your damn job. Or are you going to carry his water? Yep, keep carrying his water. That's what you've been doing for 30 years, 25 years. The supermajority Democrats always get a pass. It's why you have zero credibility, and why people are literally taking to the streets and taking to this and taking to podcasts like this to get their information, to get the truth, and to share that truth with other like-minded neighbors and friends. So here is the video, the TV ad that Newsom has released. I want to play it because it's going to show you kind of exactly what we are up against, and you're going to see these sorts of ads just clog your TV for the next 75 days.
It is a 5-alarm fire for democracy in the United States of America. Donald Trump, who's trying to light a torch on democracy, continue to try to rig the election. His agenda is failing. This presidency is failing. He knows the headwinds in a midterm. Now he's dialing up for seats. He called Greg Abbott, who doesn't have the courage, doesn't have the conscience, and he has rolled over and he said, yes, sir, and. So we have got to step up. We tried to play by a higher set of standards and rules with our independent redistricting, and we believe in that. We are talking about emergency measures to respond to what's happening in Texas, and we will nullify what happens in Texas. We will pick up 5 seats with the consent of the people, and that's the difference between the approach we're taking and the approach they're taking.
Oh, you con man. You liar and you cheat. You put a ballot title up there that literally lies, and we're going to get the consent of the people. No, you're a thief. You're a liar. You're corrupt. And again, I think when the voters see what's on the ballot versus the truth, they're going to get pissed with Gavin Newsom. They already don't like this guy, okay? We can make the case, but if you notice, everything is going to be anti-Trump, anti-Trump. What Newsom and the Democrats are going to try to do, not only lie, but they're going to try to make this a referenda on Trump. Your hatred of Trump, express it by voting to gerrymander these districts. Block Trump by taking away the House majority. Might makes right. The ends justify the means. And for some voters, that's going to be persuasive, even voters that support the Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission for nonpartisan district lines. This is going to be a tight race, but we can win it. But it's going to take all of us fighting together. You've just seen his strategy. Lie to voters on the ballot title, use his liberal media and his dark money advantage to communicate, use taxpayer money to fund campaigns. Today's rally was funded by taxpayer funds. And then, of course, make it all about Trump, Trumpity Trump. We need to make this about election integrity and fairness. Do we want fairness in our elections? Do we want a representative democracy? Do we want the citizens to draw the lines, or do we want the politicians to pick their voters? by manipulating the lines. It's very simple, and our messaging will win out, but we're going to need you. So go to that website, reformcalifornia.org, sign up, join our fight, chip in a contribution. We'll keep you informed. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. But before you click away, please subscribe to this channel and click that notification button so you get updated when we post new episodes. Plus, like this video and share it with your friends so that we can help spread our message across the state. Reform California with Carl DeMaio is paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly.